is it about 10 years ago, you think? Or
At least.
At least.
Yeah. I think it was 2011. I'm pretty
Here
sure.
in LA. Wow.
Yeah.
God. When you say 2011, that doesn't even sound like 10 years ago to me. It seems like,
That's
that
like
was
5
like,
or 6 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It goes by fast.
It does.
And I think that's like a benchmark that like things are going. It's a good indicator. Like if time is passing by quickly. So it's okay. You're busy at the very least. You know what I mean? And it's when you're having fun,
Then
time just flies right on by.
No. We're good. We're going to rock and roll. Welcome to the Career Musician Podcast. I think this is going to be almost 200. Two of my esteemed colleagues here, very adept career musicians, Mr. Max Diaz.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
And Mr. Joel Meza.
Yes, sir.
What I'm really excited about is this is a new format that I've been wanting to try forever. I was like, I just want to make it a jam session with talking in the round, vibing out. So it's like an interview because I'm going to ask some questions or I'm going to bring up some topics, but I want it to be super chill. So honestly, this is the first episode of that new format. Since you said it, Max, you spoke up. Let's start with you. So you're an Aries. I know you like long walks on the beach. I know you like dogs. I mean, I was gonna
2 out of 3, actually. That's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I was going to make that same joke.
Okay.
Actually, that's funny. Yeah, we have one brain cell amongst the three of us. Yeah.
And Joel, you and I, not as long as Max and I, we met here at PA 3 years ago.
Dang.
I was auditioning players for Sierra Miles. Shout out to her. And you got that gig. You came out last minute to that audition.
I did.
Because I was like, hey, by the way, if you can make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even think you would be able to make it. I figured you would be busy.
Listen, I'm going to try to keep it calm with the glazing and everything, but if you call me to do something, I'm going to make sure I can do whatever I can to make it happen.
Oh, man. I feel so glazed. I don't know if that's right.
There's your flowers. It's the same thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. And okay, so we met random but you had a thing that day. You had a story, right? Like you were running late or you came from another gig or something. What was that?
I saw the post last second, like that morning or the night before. And so I just heard, hey, do you have room for one more drummer? And you're like, yeah, come through. And that was the only, I was like, okay, are there any songs or anything? But you were running stuff at that point. So I showed up to the space, line of players, and I recognized a bunch of them from great bands. I'm like, oh no, this is already like a heavy lineup of guys and girls. And as I'm sitting there ready to go in, they're like calling the next band in. You guys were.
Yeah.
The guy next to me is like, yeah, which song are you doing? And he shows me a list of songs. And I was like, I didn't know there were songs. Because you were running, I was like, are there any songs?
That's
and
funny.
So I showed up to the rehearsal last second and I listened to one real quick in the hall. And then we walked in and did that one. So
We did that song?
we did that song.
Was it her song or was it a
It was
cover?
one of hers. It was one of hers.
Really? Okay. I thought there was just a bunch of cover songs, but we put her songs
There were
on the list.
there were a few of hers, and I didn't see the list, but yeah, we did, and then we did Santa Rio. So luckily there was one song where it could be like, I promise I know how to play music.
I love that. All right. I've been throwing around TCM for a while now, and a lot of people ask me, what do you mean by that? Exactly what it sounds like. So a musician who decides to turn the craft of playing music into a career. And you guys have both done that really well. And we're going to go a little deep because I want to talk about other ways to support what you do as a musician. We'll get to that later. But the first thing I want to talk about is skill and talent and how that starts to formulate. I can't tell you because now I'm older and I'm much more experienced. I'm from New York, lived in Florida, lived in Nashville, here, Japan, Nomad, all over the world, literally traveled a bunch, very grateful. But in my earlier years from early 20s all the way up through my 30s, maybe even close to 40 or 40 early, there was always this, am I good enough to do that gig? Could I get that audition? I don't know if I have the chops to do that gig. Have you guys ever run into that where your talent and skill level meet and it's okay? Who's going to draw quicker? Who's going to win, talent or skill? How do you guys feel about that?
Man, I feel like I went through this early phase of just ignorance where I just went into gigs where if I'd known how ill prepared I was for them, I wouldn't have done them. But thank God I did do them. I went in and it made me so much better.
Yeah.
But it was just ignorant. I was just like, I'm going in and playing and I can do whatever and I'm going to do it. And now I'm starting to get into this phase where you're like, oh, now the imposter syndrome kicks in. Even though I'm worlds better than I was, now it's, can I do these gigs? Am I doing it? And you got to overcome that. But luckily I was really ignorant and just head down face first, running into stuff at the beginning.
So do you think your conscientious brain finally kicked in and said, oh, wait, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I just know so many good players now that I'm like, oh,
Ah.
it helps.
But,
Makes you more.
but that early stage of having no fear definitely works to your
Oh, that
advantage.
was everything.
I think a lot of us can relate to that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know if y'all have heard about, there's those 4 stages. So the person who said this that I heard it from said it much more eloquently, but it was unconscious, unknowing, right? You familiar with that?
Love that.
Yeah. So like when you first pick up your instrument or whatever your interest is, like you just don't know how much you don't know. So everything is like a discovery. And so it's all fun. It's all sick because you're just like, oh, that's that song. Oh, now I know this part. Oh, that's a distortion. Oh, what is distortion? Whatever. This is called a snare. So everything's just, that's like a blissful state. And then you have 2 and 3, which are where you start to know some stuff and that's fun, but now you're aware of what you don't know. And then the third is where a lot of people wind up because you've learned a lot of things and you're trying to just not consciously do it. You're trying to have it be automatic.
Yeah.
And then that would be the 4th stage where it's unconscious knowing, the same way that we speak. You don't think about the words and sounding out each letter and anything like that. It's very
It's that muscle memory we say.
yeah.
There's so many
Or
different
flow
ways.
state.
Flow state.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
for sure.
cool. I like
Second
that.
Nate. There's so many ways we describe. I like that's an accurate breakdown of what's happening.
Yeah, you're like at a certain point, you just I don't know, you start to realize like at what point you're at, and you can take it as far as you want, really.
So if I said to you back in the day, if I would have said, whoops, I don't want that. If I would have said, okay, I want you to do 16th notes on an F minor 9, and we're going to, and you're like, okay, I'm getting all that. But
Yeah.
that's just too much information to start translating and transcoding
Yeah.
from your brain to your fingers,
For sure.
to your heart, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just going,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden, first pick up your instrument.
I was 15, bass. Yeah.
14, 12,
Let's go.
but really playing 14. There's no way we could have done that. What we just did at that, now, if you started playing at 6 and you started learning on YouTube University, like all you little MFers today,
That's crazy that you even brought that up.
because you're eons ahead of, right?
Yeah. You know what? When I was like learning, like proper learning bass, like in music school and stuff, a lot of it was I was learning like what you might call like Latin styles, salsas,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. And what I quickly gathered was like, this is something, it's similar to people who play in church. It's like you grow up doing it. And it's this crazy thing that happens with your brain where when you just always see monsters doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you're in the diamond lane. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and you don't even know it.
You don't even think about it. No one put that in your head.
So it's like osmosis by default. You don't even.
Just like that. And I think that's the thing with, like you said, with YouTube University now is you can just totally follow your interests and you're skipping those steps of this is really hard.
Yeah, there's no teacher
You gotta
saying this
learn
is
about-
intermediate or advanced. Or
No, you're just plucking away, trying to figure it out, trying to get stuff up to tempo.
Victor Wooten
Making it
talks
happen.
about when you learn language as a baby, you don't learn this is a preposition and these are their letters. You just speak
Exactly.
as a baby.
Yes.
And you learn how to talk.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I love that because I'm sitting here trying to learn Spanish and I feel like I'm like, if I could just freaking say sounds and words and not have to worry about
What a
conjugation.
conjugation is.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Tense
at
to
Nina
use.
because she's taken Spanish like 5 years now. And I'm like, how do you say it? And she's like, no, you didn't conjugate the verb. And I'm like, my brain
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
So again, going back to that unknowing, unconscious kind of bit. And I think it's the natural trajectory of learning.
For sure.
Right? Instead of being, you have to learn all this stuff now. Learn.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You have to learn your scales before you can play a song. And it's no, just play this. If you learn around people that are playing a song,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of cool thing about music is if you're trying to train for some other kind of physical thing, you might have to build up certain like muscle groups or whatever. If I wanted to do the LA marathon tomorrow,
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it.
No.
Run it right now, but I would benefit from experienced people saying, hey, look out for this, get these shoes, et cetera, right? But like to your point, Joel, like you can learn all the mechanics and like how to put the ingredients together, but you can totally just start learning whatever the song is. And I would say that there's a lot of merit to that because with music, if you're following your interest, you're staying excited and you're staying interested and you're still learning the stuff anyways. If I learn where an A flat is on the staff, I might as well learn it from a song that I like because I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be more inspired. And then if I see that A flat in a Mozart piece, it doesn't matter because I already know where it is.
Like when you learn, let me see if I can pull this off. So now I know that's in the key of flat. But if I learned it only from the theory of it, this is an A flat sharp 11
Yeah.
to a D flat 6-9, and then it's a 2-5. Now all of a sudden you're like, dude, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But if your uncle sat down and said, yo, check this out, kid. We're like, whoa, Uncle Bob, that's killing, man. Can you show me that? And yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're hooked, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's important because the first thing that happens is that thing of you going, wait, what was that?
Yeah.
Follow that more than anything else. Because think about it. They wrote the theory down to reproduce what they already liked. Okay, how do we do that? If I make a
Wait a minute.
you feel me? If I make a good meal, I want to like, I should memorize the recipe. And that's theory, right? But don't lose the spark. Don't lose like the interest of following. With my band, we have 1 or 2 songs that were like 10 or 12 minutes because that was the kind of music I was into at the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go back and listen to them and I'll be like, man, why did I put that part after that part? I wouldn't have done that now. Man, was I more creative then?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You took away your knowledge crutch
Yeah.
by just going for it.
I was just following. Dude, the comparison that I always make, because it's something near and dear to my heart, is like old like Looney Tunes or like Tom and Jerry and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I like the way they do that. Yeah.
And every single thing has a sound, but
Everything.
yeah, but that someone saw that and it was totally silent and they heard all that. And that trips me out.
That's cool. That's way cool.
That's crazy. So I'm just like, okay,
Bro,
so
you could say that 3 more times and I still don't think we would understand the weight in that statement.
yeah, like they move and it's like, why did that sound like they're confused? Why was that sound the confused
Well,
sound
how
or
did they
whatever?
get when they're walking up?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when you think about, that's why narrative for me is like big with writing songs.
Yeah.
Because all the notes that are on here are always going to be here no matter what I'm
Yeah.
playing. But now once I have a context, the ones I want are going to stand out. And then it's just about not putting the blinders on and being like open to. A friend of mine said something cool. He was like, just look for things that are sticky. He was like, if something like stops you for a second, just try it.
Just
Yeah. What if it's cool?
lean into it.
There was a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you learn all the stuff and you've been playing for a while, there's probably a reason why your brain brought that to mind.
Wow.
So pursue it. That's your voice.
That's so cool. That's a good way of looking at it, isn't it, Joel?
oh yeah, I love that.
I like that. When you said Mozart, what do you think happened first? Like a concerto, was it written or performed first? And how the hell would they perform it if it wasn't written? A symphony. And how would they get the musicians to, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
This is a rabbit hole that we can go down.
Yeah.
But just quick off along those.
I think that is like a fascinating world.
Like how the heck?
Yeah, because everyone was trying to figure out what they could. It was like they established these like rules, and then it was like how do we do everything we can within that framework. But then you have some stuff like, I'm gonna see.
Yeah, go for it.
This is actually it's not classical, but I thought it was something cool. It does happen in certain classical songs. It's like a thing where like basically like that movement, right? So it's the same. It's like the same.
Love that.
Like that cadence.
Yeah, it's the same chord quality. Like I'm playing like a major chord.
Just give me the notes so I can.
Yeah, so it
because
was
see
like-
now hold on.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
hooked me with the ear candy.
Right.
Now I want to know what the hell you did.
Exactly.
So I can replicate.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you're saying. I
Yes.
love that concept.
And that movement that I just did,
Show me. Yeah.
it was from, so it's, they're all major
Yeah.
chords. So it's F major to A flat, right? Down to D flat, F sharp.
And then back. Oh my god.
And that resolution, yeah, it's beautiful, right? And I was like, why does that work? Why does it sound cool?
Where did
right?
you find that? You wrote that?
I think it, well, in that key and that like rhythm and stuff, like that is from a song that I have, but I took it from, I think Paul Desmond.
Okay.
So like Dave Brubeck, Paul Desmond.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in
I can
whole
see
thing.
that.
Yeah.
The Paul Desmond was Dave Brubeck, that era. Paul was the sax player, yeah? Desmond? And Brubeck was the piano player.
Yes. So
Yes.
then it was Dave Brubeck that did it.
Dave Brubeck piano,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the one that did
Take 5.
Bobby. See how bad that was? I don't remember it. Yeah. Take 5, basically.
Yeah. You know.
All right, so can you play that again? Your jam, your cadence groove, and let's do that for a second.
Okay, sure.
That was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
dope. I liked it. Joel, just you play first before, and then I'll fall into you guys because I'm curious to see how you interpret it because that's a whole nother thing, interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, the way I had felt it was like, it seemed like an interstitial kind of part, like before, like sometimes I like you do a chorus, but then like, how can I dress it up a little bit more?
That is very pretty. So what went through my mind? So now, because I want to talk about interpretation, I had to analyze it harmonically first, because that's how I've conditioned my brain to think.
Yes.
So I'm going F major, A flat major, D flat major, G flat major, F major.
Yes.
And then I found a common tone. I was like, oh, C works. So I had the C, because the C is the 5th over F major. Look at me talking to the drummer like he knows what I'm talking about. For the F major, you have the C, which is the 5th.
Yeah.
For the A flat, it's the 3rd. For the D flat, it's the 7th. And for the G flat major 7, it's the sharp 11.
A beautiful tone. A really beautiful tone. Yeah.
Obviously, like an H major
Exactly.
chord
Major,
for sure.
major.
Major.
Major, shut your mouth. Major, what'd you call me?
Yeah, so it sounds it almost sounded bad for a second.
Like when it's like when my parents used to spell words. I'm like, wait, are we going to the park? Where are we going?
But yeah, so then I found the common tone. But then I started soloing, and I'm like, and I was still thinking until I said, "Stop thinking, you big dummy." And then I just went for it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh." And I found something that worked because my brain, my analytical brain, kicked back in. It was F minor pentatonic, and then I was like, "Wait a minute!" But when I land on the F major, I can go back to.
Yeah, exactly.
And that gives it that beautiful rub going from the major to the minor.
That's what I'm always looking for with
All
stuff.
that happened within milliseconds.
Yeah. Yeah. And dude, I always do comparisons with food or cooking with music.
Yeah.
And was I talking about that with you, Nina? With food or something? Okay. I repeat myself quite often. But
That's a sign of old age.
it is. It is. I'm okay with it.
Old people
Yeah. You got more story to tell.
are wise. That's
Right. Yeah. If I can remember, damn it. But no, because everyone eats. So I know you're going to, on some level.
I love it.
Right.
Love it.
But you went through all of those things.
Yeah.
And it's like if we had, okay, we need to make this dish or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to know how all this stuff's going to come together and at what temperatures to cook it at, etc. So that's like the skill set.
But that's very visceral.
But that's like the skill set behind how do we get to the point we're trying to get to. You know what I mean? So
Because Abuela wasn't cooking viscerally.
no. Yeah.
Abuela was in the kitchen just like,
Yeah. Little taste. Okay, needs this.
that's how she cooked.
Yeah.
But then sometimes some British white dude named Gordon Ramsay comes in, move over, let me show you how to write this down. It's raw.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good point because it's I could make an omelet, but let him do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, first of all, you get cursed out if you do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You know what I mean?
All around in my hometown, they're trying to track me down. They say they want to bring me in guilty for the life of a dear. UT. And I say, said John Brown always hated me for what I don't know. Every time that I plant a seed, he says kill it before it grows. Oh, he says kill it before it grows. Hey, and I say I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot no deputy. Oh, I shot the sheriff, but I swear it wasn't self-defense. Go back to the verse. And I say, yeah, notes. So before we wrap, what is the takeaway? Because the career musician exists to empower musicians with strategies for a sustainable career.
Yeah.
And people always ask. So again, knowing you have the talent, check. Got the skill because you cultivated the talent, check. You worked on some image, hopefully, because you're paying attention, check. You're meeting people and building relationships because you're just finding that common ground,
Yeah.
check. How do I put a check in my bank account now? Like, how do you get the gig? And if you don't have the gig,
Yeah.
what do you do?
So I think we honestly, without you telling us, maybe you guide us there intentionally, but without knowing, I think we touched on a lot of it. It's like, first, it's following what interests you. And like when you follow that spark, like Max was talking about, you're going to naturally build a depth of talent in that area. And that's going to carry you to the higher levels of playing, because the more deep your talent is in an area, the higher the heights you can reach. So you follow that spark, you follow that desire.
But you're following that and your mom says, I love you, honey, but you got to get out of my house.
Yeah, you need money. You build all those steps, and that's what gets you the gigs. Is you get out, you present yourself, you show up, you dress up, you come with the talent already there.
Yeah.
And then you make friends, and
then you say yes.
And then you say yes.
You always say yes. You have to say yes.
And you know what, dude? Something we were talking about in the beginning of like subsidizing and stuff, right?
That's it.
Because
Ding, ding.
when the pandemic hit, and okay, I don't know when we're going to gig again. I don't know when a tour is going to happen.
Remember that?
Yeah.
20
5 years
people
ago.
are like, oh, then tours might. First of all, I can't believe it's 5 years ago, but
Isn't that insane? Yeah.
tours might never happen again. What?
Yeah. It was just like, talk about a rug pull. But I remember one day I just was like, oh, but you know what though? It's also not my fault. So this is not on me this time. You know what I mean? I didn't mess anything up.
I wasn't being lazy. I didn't say no.
Yeah, exactly.
I showed up.
Yeah. But dude, like what you were talking about, I think that's how you get to that thing. If all those other boxes that you're talking about, like knowing where your talents are, cultivating them, presenting yourself, building meaningful relationships, the financial part of it will be a byproduct of that if you do it really well.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So, because the subsidizing. Okay,
Yes. So I have a thing I say,
Yes.
I call it subsidizing your talent.
Yeah.
Which just means,
Do you want to unpack it or you? Yeah.
no, go.
Okay,
You unpack
so,
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you get all of your income from your instrument, there's pros and cons to that, right? Like from being a musician, right? Because you're going to have more tenacity about it. You're going to go after those calls. You're going to develop a wider variety of skill sets. You might learn how to run Ableton sessions. Or if you're like me, I know how to play upright and key bass as well. Because if you say, hey, I need bass, I don't think about if you need bass, I can do it. Period, point blank, it's done.
Yuri is in the booth looking at us saying, yeah, because that's why he knows Pro Tools. He knows live audio.
Exactly.
He knows.
So when you have to do it, the necessity of it will facilitate developing those skills. But it also can be really like stressful. Like I was saying to you, I know homies and they're like, man, I really don't want to do that, but I need this 200. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
But they get up and do it. So if you want to just pursue your instrument as a career, that might be more of the route that you need to take and put that fire under yourself. But like I was saying, the other part of it is if you're going to write and you want to tap more into the artistic side of it, not like writing records and writing songs for other people, producing. Yeah. And if you got to intern somewhere or if you got to get another job to support that, do it. Yeah. Because then you can just,
There's no shame.
no. And again, that was why I brought up the pandemic thing. Like right now, economically, it's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for most of us.
99.999%.
Exactly. So don't take it as a failure on your part if you have to supplement your income with something else that just is available to you. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't make you less of a musician. I would even argue it makes you more of a musician because now with your free time that you do have left, you're still fighting to do this thing and like switching hats and being creative or practicing for an hour when you're dead tired.
And guess what? Creativity and chaos cannot abide together. They can't live together. Think about it. No, think about it. Because in some senses, they do go together.
Right.
I agree. But how can creativity, you're sitting in your apartment, your 1-bedroom apartment that cost you $2,600 a month in LA.
Right.
It's a 1-bedroom. It's about 345 square feet. It's not even a 1-bedroom studio. And it costs you $2,600. And you're like, shit, I have $1,300.
Yeah.
You're going to sit down and produce a song right now?
Yeah.
When you know you're $1,300 short?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how is that going to happen?
Yeah.
No, you're going to be like, I'll sell this guitar. I'll sell that drum. I need a kick. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Creativity can't live in there.
That's in that respect.
How is it going to
Absolutely.
live in there when your mind, because it's fight or flight?
That taps into, there's this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs where he talks about that. And it's
Maslow.
you can't get the next level without all the bottoms. Like the bottom one is like physical safety. If there's a bear right there, you aren't thinking of anything else. You're at the base level. But then it's like food and shelter And then it's like mental happiness, like physical relations. Then it gets up to self-actualization where you can dream and create and be artistic.
It's very true.
But if you're out of those other ones aren't, you automatically drop to whatever that lowest level is.
I'm so glad you brought up the Maslow philosopher. Definitely so important. Yeah. So there's no shame in the game. Do what you got to do. Don't fake it till you make it. Work it until you make it. And work all angles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
your ass off.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that you did when you were little and you were inspired by musicians. You were like I remember being a kid and being like, man, Jimi Hendrix had that dope jacket. He stood like this. And I say all that to say that don't neglect the auxiliary parts of being a musician as well. You know what I mean? Dude, this is your life.
Yeah.
Don't like you guys. I know you know what an NPC is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Don't be an NPC. Be a custom character.
Yeah,
like this your life. Like what kind of instruments do you want to play? What kind of bands do you want to play in? Think about that and then wake up and get up and go after it. You can do it.
So true.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you just came off of a world tour. I see this guy sending memes from Amsterdam, from Copenhagen. He's in Japan and Tokyo, that famous crosswalk in Tokyo.
The scramble.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on, Max? So I finally DM'd him. I was like, when you come back to the States, would you let me know so we could do a podcast?
Heck yeah. I was honored. Thank you for
and you hit me
asking.
right back.
Yeah. Again. See, that's the kind of thing.
Nomad calls, you show up, dude.
That's right. I'm saying.
Thank you guys. So tell us.
We got to unpack that.
The world tour. You got a world tour.
Yeah, we did. It was 24 scheduled shows all throughout last month. We played all but one of them.
24 scheduled shows. That's a lot.
Yeah, and it was like 6 days, just show, and then 1 day off. And the day off was a drive day. So it's just like,
a day off.
Dude, no, exactly. And
5 days are brutal.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a van or a bus, it's brutal.
I would rather 5 or 6 hours drive and then the show versus 9 hours of just driving, because it's just anyways
brutal.
But, yeah, and then for that whole month you might be sharing a hotel room with somebody. That was how it was with us. I think there was one night where I had a hotel room to myself, but it was everything. You know what I mean? All the high points were there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. There was a couple little arguments because everyone's in a van for 8 hours or some crazy crap like that. You start to pick up on people's idiosyncrasies.
I'm sorry, you idiosyncrasy.
When we synchronize how we're idiots together, then it's, but or at least for me, I had to go, okay, I'm not going to have this comfort right now. Like for me, you get what I'm saying? So you got to go, okay, cool. We got to get the job done and we got to get the show done. And I still want to have fun doing it. You know what I mean? I think that it's, I know for me, I felt extremely different coming back. You feel like like you said, at a certain point you go, dang, I've been like all over the world. And now what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Now what do I focus on? You know what I mean? I know for myself and for a lot of musicians that like going to Europe is like, yeah, we're touring Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that's cool. Y'all did North America, but we did North America and we did Europe.
Just
too.
another European trip that
I don't know. It's just like the way they do it, and in Helsinki, it's just different. In Norway, it was like, it's like a bucket list level thing.
Yes.
And then when you go someplace like that where you've never been before and might not have gone otherwise.
Yeah.
And people are like singing the songs back.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And you don't even speak the same language.
language.
It's whoa. You know what I mean?
That's what happens. Those memories get pricked in your mind when I literally saw you drinking an espresso at a cafe in Copenhagen. And I was like, oh my God. I remember it took me, the last time I was in Copenhagen was 2009. I was there immediately in my mind. Took me right back.
Yeah.
Remember the gig. Remember the venue. Remember the sick ass hotel we stayed at.
Yeah, man.
Remember the amazing hang, the food, the people. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And then it just, there's no, like you said, it's bucket list stuff.
It really is.
And if you get to do it more than once, then you are extremely fortunate.
It's very true as well. It's very true.
If you get to do it once, you're lucky, fortunate. If you get to do it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I would love to go back, and I'd love to go anywhere. South America.
I'll go to Dave's Hot Chicken down the road.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you want me to go play in Carson? Yeah, for sure. I'm down.
Shout out to Dave's Hot Chicken. Nina and I just had some today. She's like, I want to try it.
But
and Carson, shout out.
Yeah. Long Beach, Carson, Compton, we're down.
Copenhagen, it's all
Copenhagen.
the
Live for the road. Live for the road, babe.
Yeah, it's special. And then you start to think about what got you there. I know I had a moment, we were in Brussels.
Yeah.
And there was just, America's a fairly like young country compared to a lot of these other places. So you just see all these like old buildings.
The architecture. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I'm a softie anyways, but we had gotten to that venue early and the crew was great. There was like a cafeteria back there. And I'm just like walking through this like city square. And then all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, dude, I'm from Inglewood, man. I'm from the hood. I picked this thing up when I was 15 and I was like, I'm going to be here someday. And now I'm here.
Now you're here.
And I'm just all these people are like walking around, and this 6'4" guy just I broke down and cried right there. And I just stood there and let myself cry. And I was just like,
Good for you, man, because that's not easy to do.
you know what?
The vulnerability.
Yeah, and I have this like theory that in moments like that, you want to face it consciously, because like it's like people who like avoid things, and then you can tell that like they're avoiding it. You know what I mean? So I think the contrary is true as well. Like when there's a moment where like you should be present and absorb it, do that. So yeah, I just stood there and I was just like, man, you know what? You're here to play bass. Like they asked you to come to play bass. Don't get like a big head about it, but we have to have the right amount of like altitude of I'm here to do a job that I got good at.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
I think that's huge. It's like
Yeah.
you get, as a musician, it's such a competitive world. Yeah, dude. It's such a competitive world, and you're always like trying to be the best.
Yes.
And you're always looking almost from a position of lack. It's always, I need to be better. I need to get higher and higher.
You're always looking up.
It's so important to do that, to take a minute and be like,
Whoa.
yeah, I've come a long way, and
Look
I'm doing
down.
things that, you know, when your goals
Yeah,
change, your original goal might be like, I want to play music for a living. But then you're like, I want to play tours. I want to play arenas. I want to do this. And that's like, accept and acknowledge, no, I hit a goal. I hit a mile marker that 14-year-old me, 15-year-old me wanted to do this. And like, yeah, my goals are bigger now, but also accept that and acknowledge I hit that and did that. And that's just so huge.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
I hit the goal of touring, and then, but I always wanted to be a session cat. I always called, back in the day, you were a road dog or a session cat.
I like that.
Nowadays, you have to be everything. But back in the day, they used to delineate between, there was a differentiation between the, you know.
Yeah.
But so then I was in Nashville at the time. I did 8 years in Nashville. It sounds like a prison. I did 8 years over in Ville.
Folsom.
And I was doing a shit ton of studio work, and that's what I really wanted to do. So the first day that I did 3 dates, they call it a session date, in one day. I did 3 sessions in one day, a 10, a 2, and a 6. I was like,
Bro,
I just did it.
Sick.
I achieved it.
Yeah.
A 10 a.m., a 2 p.m., and a 6 p.m. I played on 3 different albums, 3 different producers, 3 different bands.
Nice.
In one day.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. It wasn't sustainable because the session industry started declining.
tanky, yeah.
But then I wanted to move here to be in film and TV. So then I did that. So I got here, and within a month of being here, I'm in the Palisades at John Powell's studio. Look, in this glass house, not kidding,
Right.
like multi-trillion-dollar glass house. It seemed, obviously it wasn't trillion, but multi-million-dollar glass studio, guitar in my hand, sheet music in front of me, electric rig, steel string acoustic rig, Spanish guitar, all set up around me, giant screen, freaking Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt playing on the film score for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Did it. Pick drop.
Yeah, man.
Like literally did it. Pinch, right? Those moments. Most of the time, I never stopped to take the time to acknowledge it and cry, laugh,
Just let it
scream,
whatever's in
let
there.
it
Yeah,
soak
yeah,
in.
yeah.
You know why? Because I was constantly looking up. But you said,
Absorb it. Just
absorb it.
Just be present.
but there's
in that
something you
moment.
said about the perspective, the air. What did you say? There was a word. I can't remember it.
Altitude.
Oh, altitude. Yeah. Good callback. Yeah.
Acknowledge the altitude.
Yeah, because
And that's what I was saying. Look down. You're in a plane. 10 minutes ago, you were on the ground. Now you're 35,000 feet up. Look down and be like, holy shit, we did it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you absolutely should, because it helps you stay calibrated. Yeah, because it's like you said, you can just be like the whole time like, okay, we did a record and we're on tour, but okay, how do we like sell out the shows? But man, look, hey, there's somebody right now in front of you.
Right now.
Hoping to do that thing.
Yeah.
That needs your attention,
Yes.
really.
And you know what? This person spent money and came out tonight to see you. Do the thing. That's what's happening right now. Be here right now. Yeah. I love that stuff.
That's amazing.
I love that. I love it.
And on that note, all right, let's do something to take us out. Hey, before we go, I want to say, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to The Career Musician on all platforms for the social majiggies and, of course, for the podcast majiggies. We are on Spotify, Apple Pods, Google this, Google that, Google your mother, Google the gobble Google over here. We're everywhere. Subscribe to all the platforms. Check us out. We are on the YouTubes now, of course, and I'm really excited about this new format and the maiden voyage that I have here with my brothers Joel Meza and Max Diaz. And we got Yuri in the booth. Big shout out to Yuri. Woo! Nina behind the camera. Big shout out to Nina. Woo!
Shout out.
My wife Lola with the craft services. Woo!
Yes.
All right. But also, here's the thing. We are at PA Rehearsal Studios in Reseda, California. This place is amazing. I love this place.
Shout out.
We want to give a shout out to Meg, the owner, proprietor of this wonderful establishment. She really built a kick-ass rehearsal studio. Very affordable. And if you use coupon code NOMAD, you get a special discount, literally. So if you're thinking about moving to LA, to try to get these gigs. Hit us up when you're here and hit up PA Rehearsal Studios and use code Nomad to get a special discount for your studio time. And if you're not thinking about moving to LA and you just want to come out here and do some jams or whatever, come on out. Again, PA Rehearsal Studios, Reseda, California. Want to give a big shout out to them. Thank you to everybody who has made this possible. Thank you to you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, man, thank you.
Yes. And on those notes, what notes are going to play us out?
I want to make a request.
Yes, tell
because
me.
we didn't get to play it long enough at the awards show. That's the original of yours that we ended the awards show with.
Yeah, just keep going. Reason for living, yeah. Reason for living. It's my reason for living, yeah. Reason for living, yeah. Go ahead, Maxie. I love it. Woo. Reason for living, yeah. Reason for living. You're my reason for living, yeah. Hey. I love how musicians, we always have to do the little special thing at the end. Oh, that made it.